All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Saturday adventure in the P-38 Lightning, going from Cheyenne Regional to Ainsworth. We're going from Wyoming to Nebraska. Slight change from the flight plan that I put in the Discord yesterday. We're going to be landing on runway 35 using these fixes: Fugal, coal seat, and shirred. So from here, that's the only change. It's just the direction we'll travel from T to Tango Delta Delta. So that is what we got going on. And then after we're done, I'm going to pop over into the Beechcraft Delta 18 Sierra, the twin beach, to show what I think is the solution to the problem with the noise, at least until they get a patch out for it. Show you how to do all that. Let me go ahead and adjust the time a little bit here while we're waiting to see if anybody's going to join us. We can have a look at the flight plan. And let's see if anybody's up here that may need it. Allie's probably getting her stuff ready for the flight today. Later on with Captain Arsh. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. Hopefully you have just returned from your run to the chip shop for your Saturday fish and chips. So we're waiting to see if anybody's going to join. I don't expect anybody will. Nobody has said anything. Hello, Joseph. What's why are you talking all posh, Joseph? Who are you and what have you done with Addie's? That is not the way you normally talk, Joseph. Okay, nice. Good deal. All right, so yeah, that's the only thing we got going today. Oh, I got to change the weather as well. Now, our departure runway might change when I change the weather here. Let's see if it does. We're just going to put a few clouds on just to make things interesting. A few clouds right there. There we go. Let's see if it changed it. Yep, it sure did. So we're going to depart from runway 27. So I'm just going to spawn in there. I'm not going to start up and, well, you know what? We could. That's fine. Yeah, we'll just do the startup and we'll roll out there. And then we'll be on our way. I got to readjust the time again since I changed. I think, yeah, we're only going to go up to about 10,000 feet. We have to be at 6,000 here, descending to 4,200 here, and then we'll be on the ground right there. So that is our plan for today. Time. Waiting to see if anybody's going to pop in. I'm guessing while I do the startup, if people are going to pop in, they can spawn in on runway 27. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and run a quick ad break, folks. Be right back. Finish off my coffee. Nice and cool this morning, which helps out. So let's see. I don't see any usual suspects in my friends list online. So, oh, come on. Why is it acting up already? All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, folks. Get the plane started up so we can get in the air and be on our way. We'll be heading to our departure runway as soon as we're all started up. All right, let's get this out the way. Those are correct. We got to make sure we tank up enough. I don't think I need a full. I don't need to like put all the fuel in. I just need to have enough and a little extra. So I'm thinking I'm going to add like 70% fuel here in a moment. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see something here. I had it up. Where? Oh, here it is. I just gotta check something here. Okay. Shift Alt F. There we go. Perfect. Makes it a little bit easier. All right, let's go ahead and get our left engine going. So 2003, 2004, 2005. There we go. There's one. 2003, 2004, 2005. There's two. Ta-da. Meter yoke back on there. Ooh, we gotta get our, let's see. Lights on. We need to get our altimeter set. Perfect. Let's get the side windows up. At least. Oh, get our first nav point in. Sorry, folks. Let's see here. 11310. Darn near set for us already. Just had to make a minor change. So that's not far from the airport. So I'm going to go ahead and dial the second one in. 11590. So that way we just swap over to our next navigation aid. Oh, let me get the fuel in. Almost forgot. 6. Yeah, that should be sufficient. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and know we're ready to move. 27 is to the west. I believe it's back that way. Partly fuel truck. We're on our way out the door. So what I'm going to do is once we take off, I'm just going to hand fly it till we get to that first nav point, and then I'll put on the autopilot and all that. So yeah, just over an hour flight, and then like I said, I'll pop over into the Twin Beach, do this. I'll show you the startup real quick, and then how to solve the noise issue, and then we'll wrap things up for the day. We will not be back tomorrow. Next flight is Monday. The last 3 legs of our trip to Indonesia will start on Monday. We're just going to do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before I head into a bit of a break. September might be a short month streaming wise. Planning on going for a little vacation at some point. I'm not exactly sure of the dates yet. So, take a little break. And we'll get back to it in got a week off work this coming week. Nice. So besides laying around and eating fish and chips and burgers, Daniel, do you have any other plans? Well, I can't forget the ice lollies and the chocolate and the beans and toast. I can't remember anything else. Oh, and then of course the roast. This. We're all set once we get to the runway. Oh, Mr. Adams, you're almost like a Mela. You're always hungry, and you go and get junk food. I swear, Joseph, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm gonna put a. It will depend on the weather. Oh, well, at least it'll be nice and cool then. You can just kind of be a bit lazy. You know. I honestly, Joseph, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm gonna get a fruit stand right next to your house, and that's Every time, nope, here's an apple, here's an orange, here's a banana, here's some peaches, here's some pears. You're going to get handed that instead of going to the shop to get junk food. Might change your eating habits. Alright, we're almost to the departure runway. We'll wait a few minutes, see if anybody's going to pop in. We're going to runway 27 here at Cheyenne Regional. This is the runway we came in on when we landed here last Saturday. Ooh, I do need to zoom that out just a smidge. Oops. So Joseph, what happened to your stream? I meant to ask you. It was like you were going along and you were talking to Chris and all of a sudden, psh, your stream just ended rather abruptly. I'm guessing your internet went on you, or between your router and your PS4, I'm guessing they both overheated and said, screw it, we're done. It cut out, yeah. Well, yeah, I figured that. I mean, that goes without saying, Joseph. That's the, yeah, it cut and went, as we used to say. Oh, you know what? We're going to get the, there we go. We are on the right runway for the wind. Well, it might be your... I don't know that it's the internet, Addies. It might just be your router. Your router is probably clogged full of dust and dirt and stuff from all the years that it was there. All right. Let me just see real quick if we have any guests wanting to join. Oh, Patrice is in the loading screen. I don't know if Patrice is going to show up. We'll wait a few more minutes to see if Patrice is going to join us in this flight. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take off, and then we're going to climb out, and then we're going to hang. We're just going to kind of make a lazy right until we get to our first nav point, which is right there, that TACAN. I believe it is a TACAN. No, it's a VORTAC. I'm sorry. That's why we're getting the signal. We're going to pass through there, and then I'm going to activate the autopilot, and we'll get on our heading and get to our cruising altitude. So we are just about set to go. I'm waiting to see if Patrice is going to join us. We'll wait another minute or two, and then we'll... Matter of fact, you know what? We'll just go ahead and pull out on the runway now. Excuse me. Taxi a little bit forward. I think the spawn-in point is right there behind us, so if Patrice is going to spawn in, it might just pop right there. So both of these airports, regional airports now, were used as Army Air Corps airfields during World War II. They were either maintenance facilities or places along the way when equipment was being flown from one side of the country to the other during the war. Some of them were training facilities. So, alright, let me see if... I'm going to skip the picture right here. A little on the ground. We'll get another one once we're in the air as well. Just want to get one on the ground for prosperity's sake. Alright, let's see if Patrice has not messaged us. Let me see if he's still loading in or if he's... Patrice, if you're here, if you're in the chat, if you're going to fly with us, let me know and I'll wait another minute or two. Otherwise, I'm going to get going. But I don't know if he's flying with me today or not. It says he's in the air somewhere, but I don't know if he's here. Oh, you know what? I just remembered something. Oh, I didn't... Okay, I did change it. Okay, never mind. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get going. Let me make sure the stream is back. There we go. Let me just do that. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and do an ad real quick and then we'll get in the air. Alright, the ad is over. Let's go. To set the trim. Gear up. Oop. Wow. Boy, this thing does not want to trim out. Come on. Come on, plane. Here we go. All right. Alright, so gonna climb a little bit until we see. It may not switch over. Sometimes it doesn't. No, it does not look like it's... No, we'll give it another minute or two. Nope, I don't think it will. Alright. Adios, Cheyenne. Thanks for hosting us. We're already about at our cruising altitude. Nice. Didn't take long to get there. We're just gonna keep doing this lazy turn here. Kind of a lazy turn. And get back on track here. Oh, there it is. It did change. Perfect. Okay. Crossed that threshold, so we are on our way. CYS, the marker, it's up in here somewhere. Go ahead and get the throttles back a bit. We don't want to climb up too much higher, but if we go a little high, that's fine. I don't expect that we're going to be going over any mountains today. I don't think. A little bit more here. Sufficient. And we'll get the autopilot on here in just a moment. We should intercept that just fine. Keep an eye out behind us in case anybody. Do a quick sweep. Does not look like anybody is. So, but you never know. Somebody might pop in unexpectedly. Alright, so I think we're on our or did it go SNY? It did. Alright, so let's get the autopilot on. Oh, I need to change the frequency. Swap. It's the wrong button. Oops. Now it's wanting to do its own thing. Alright, okay. So that 115. Yep, that's it. Alright. Let's go right here. I'm gonna go on a heading of 0. Oop, 081. Go down about 12 and reduce some altitude here. Yeah, 13 should be sufficient. Gotta go back. Okay, a little bit more. Might have been too much. Hope so. Oh, now the ads went and ran again anyway. Oh, I might have lost track of time that they were going to start running again. Or I think you guys should be able to hear me now. I think the ads are done. So yeah, all the flight information is put out, I think, within a reasonable amount of time. For those who want to join, I also make an effort to show the route in the world map. So that way, if you want to join and you're not on the Discord, there's a way to find out what the information is. But yeah, if it's, I'm going to fly regardless. If people want to pop in, they're more than welcome. But if not, that's their choice. So we will fly regardless. A little bumpy up here. And we need to turn back to the right just a tad. What's the, it says 8.7. Ooh boy, okay. I think that's the correct for the bit of wind we're encountering. So, alright, we are en route to Ainsworth. Should be a fairly quick flight. Shouldn't be any surprises, I guess. This should be lining up right about there. Now I think this is probably something they need to fix. See, now it's showing, if I click it over to where it says GPS, I think it's supposed to be the other way around. I think it's got it, for some reason it's backwards in this aircraft. Alright, we have 57 nautical miles to our first waypoint there, or our second one, I should say. And then we're going to turn, this one was 81 nautical miles, our next one is 115. Matter of fact, I should, oh, it's 60. I'm going to go ahead and get that dialed in. Oops. Perfect. So that's ready to swap over. All right. Keep an eye out behind us just in case we have any guests pop in. Pretty quiet server, as usual, which I like. So yeah, no flight tomorrow, no stream tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. Leg 30 of 32 to our trip to Indonesia. That one's going to be that one's probably going to be a bit of a long one. So we have a 250 nautical mile stint. That's like a big chunk of the flight right there. On Tuesday, same thing. We got a 225 nautical mile stint. I'm just going to stream the whole thing. If people want to come in, they'll come in and watch. If not, I get it. For some reason, everybody always comes in the last 5 minutes or when I'm already on the ground. So, yeah. I don't know what else to do, but we're just going to go ahead and stream it anyway. See if I can't find. I don't have it on here, I don't think. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, that's true, Daniel. When's the next Train Sim World 2? I don't know, Joseph. I haven't really thought about it. Because I really want to focus on getting ready to do what I'd like to do before I go on vacation at some point in September. It very well may be that it's like towards about middle or last part of September. That I'll be on vacation. I don't know the exact dates yet, but anyway, so I do want to get the Concorde flight done sooner rather than later. So Train Sim World 2 might have to wait until after I come back from my vacation. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I like it, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit kind of blah about it. Hello, Bex. How are you? Nice to see you here. Are you recovering from your 21st birthday? So yeah, I don't know, Joseph. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know that there's. I mean, I don't have any of the new routes. The last few new routes that came out on. That's good, Bex. That came out recently, and I don't know that I'd like to get Train Sim World 3 because it does look pretty amazing. But as Mick pointed out numerous times last night, I don't know who it was that kept asking him. I don't know if it was Quicko, Laserjet, whoever, right? I think I'd rather wait because Dovetail Games has kind of, I'm soured on them. She might still be drinking. No, Joseph. Come on now. What is with you today? So I don't know that like I'm not sure that it's something. What was I trying to go with this until Joseph talked about that's drinking? Yeah, I think I'm going to wait and see how it goes. Yeah, I don't think Bex is an alcoholic. Jesus, Joseph. So yeah, I don't think I think I'm gonna just wait and see how it goes, because Dovetail Games has, I think they've soured, as far as I'm concerned, they soured the relationship with me, and it's up to them to prove that they want, you know. But of course, people are gonna throw money at it, and then when it's not working, they're gonna cry. Oh, well, you should have waited, right? You should have known better, right? A lot of these companies, they just put games out there and they know it's in such a state. Why do I feel like I'm running out of gas? I think I need, oh, you know what, we'll check it real quick, but I feel like I'm running out of gas on the, no, I'm not, okay. It just sounded like we were. Okay, never mind. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I want to see how it goes first. It does look amazing, I'm not going to lie, but amazing just doesn't cut it anymore. You know, that's part of the problem. You know, everybody salivates over the new shiny toy, and then when the new shiny toy isn't as shiny as you thought it was going to be, yeah, it's, I don't know, but we'll see. Get down to about 12,000 here, just because we can. So, I don't know. Yeah, I just, I don't know. I mean, it was exciting when it first started, but now it's just kind of like, I don't know. It just, so, you know, and of course you got those people who are going to complain, why did they put another American freight route in there? Why? They just, and they get all fussy about it, and it's just like, well, so don't play it. Granted, you're paying for it, but don't play it, right? Just don't play it. But don't go in people's streams and fuss because there's something in there that you don't particularly care for. You know, because they got nothing better to do with their time. So anyway, they just part of it is I think they just can't handle the challenge of getting a massive train moving, because they just want to be able to hit the button and go, you know, instead of like, okay, I got to set the locomotive up and I got to get all these things together. They just want to be able to go. Well, that's not how it is in real life, right? You want a simulator. Rogue Wolf Gaming. Why do I know that name? Somebody else is in a P-38 trying to catch up. Rogue Wolf Gaming. Who is that? Well, we'll see if somebody's trying to catch up to us or not. Don't know if they're not in the chat saying anything. So yeah, anyway, that's my take on it. But yeah, I think I'm going to wait. You know, and Mick brought up a valid point too. They just came out with all this stuff for Train Sim World 2, and now, like, the Spirit of Steam just came out about a month ago, and now they're coming out with Train Sim World 3. It was like, yeah, I don't know. That just seems a bit, I don't know. Let's see. Yep, somebody's catching up. Boy, they must be hauling butt to catch up to me. Well, welcome to the flight, Rogue Wolf Gaming. Not sure who that is. I don't know what could be next. Well, what's next is FIFA 23, and then, you know, all the fussing with that. You know, it's like the repeat, rinse and repeat. And then the next F1 game and all the fussing with that. Anyways. Mug of tea time is next. Oh, I know what could be next. Well, alright, Joseph, go get your tea. That's fine. We still got a bit to go. Wolf Games. Who is that? I don't recognize the name, unless it's just somebody who happened to see me on the server and was like, "Oh, I'll fly P-38." As well. Ooh, well, getting a little close there. They're disappearing, reappearing. Boy, they're a little bit bumpy, aren't they? Oh, I got it. Oh, I almost forgot the story time. Yes, when Joseph's back from getting his tea, we'll have story time. I gotta check the next. Yeah, we are over, almost near it. Okay, I want to make sure we intercept it, so I'm gonna scoot to the right just a bit more. Almost forgot story time. Bex is about to have a coffee. Or Daniel's having tea. Okay. And I thought, I'm sorry. I'm like looking at the chat, trying to pay attention to the flight and everything. So I'm missing. I already have my 1 cup for the day. All right. We are on to there, and we need to change frequencies. Please and thank you. We need to catch a heading of 16. No, wait, that's not it. I'm looking at the wrong stuff. I'm looking at next week. 049. Gotta get on that heading expeditiously and forthwith. There we go. All right. Somebody must be listening. It must be whoever. Somebody's in the game listening to the chat. They turned when I did. Let's go 4-7 just to be on the safe side. Yeah, so when everybody's back, I'm going to take a short break myself, and we come back. Pie and mash in a minute. See? Well, go get your pie and mash and come back then, Joseph. We got story time. you've not had pie and mash in a long time. What's a long time, Joseph? You talk about just last week you had it, or what's the what do you consider to be a long time? Just out of curiosity. Let's get down to about 11,000. What the heck? Why not? All right. Once we know Joseph is back with his pie and mash, we'll have story time. Since it's story time is because of Joseph. All right, we're on a good track here, and let's see. All right, so from here, just kind of coming up, talking about what's happening after we get to Tango Delta Delta. Then we're going to turn, we're going to start descending to about 6,000 feet, and then we're going to turn and line up. It should be a very quick, okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to descend, and then we're going to line up for approach. It's story time, Joseph, because of what you said in your bus sim stream the other day, whatever. So anyway, so here's what happens. So to kind of recap for those of you who were not there yesterday, Joseph's bus sim 19, because 21 apparently is too arcadey. I don't know. I've not really seen it one way or the other. But anyway, he's driving around. Now Joseph is a speed demon, whether it's in a train or in a bus or in a car, whatever. He is in a hurry every time. So barely will stop at a red light on bus sim. So he comes to an intersection, lets a car go, and then it immediately pulls out and then gets hit. What? Why? Because Joseph was in a hurry and doesn't see the car right behind the other one that's going to go through the traffic first. They have the right of way, I guess. So anyway, so Joseph says, well, you could be my bus instructor. No. I had a bad, I wouldn't say bad. I had a love-hate relationship with bus driving when I was in the Army. And here's why. When I got to Fort Stewart back in 2008, towards the end of 2008, right, about October of 2008, we go through the elections and everything. Now, this one thing is not tied with the other, right? It was just that there was a bunch of things happening when I got to Fort Stewart that all kind of just, it made for a chaotic time, let's put it that way. So I about sometime in November, and I think it was about the early November. It was certainly before we had Thanksgiving break. No, the truck was coming. You came out of the intersection like there was no tomorrow, Joseph, but that's neither here nor there. So what? Oh, somebody left. Where'd he go? Oh, we lost our road. Oh, no, there he is. Hello. Might be going in for landing somewhere. So I get voluntold for bus driving school in the Army. Now it's a 2-week course. They teach you how to drive a bus that's it's a civilian, or it's a military version of a civilian bus. All right, it's nothing fancy. It's nothing fancy like you were driving in your sim yesterday, Joseph. It's just a standard bus. So you learn how to drive it, back it up, turn, maneuver the bus and everything, and then you So you practice a little bit on post. They have like a designated area. It's, there's nobody around, and you just drive around, and you have an instructor who rates you while you're driving, can tell you like, okay, try it again, and maybe come from, they're always they just want you to improve. They don't really want to fail anybody, right? If they can help it. So we're going through the course, and about before the end of the first week, they're talking about we may be going up to Washington, D.C. for the inauguration of President Obama. So I'm like, well, then why am I even in bus driving school? If we're getting ready to go up to Washington, D.C., shouldn't we be spending time preparing for that? Oh, don't worry about it. You finish your drive. Well, now I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to be able to complete it, because I may be going into the second week, and then you guys are going to yank me out and say, okay, we're going up to Washington, D.C. Now, it wasn't that we were going to fly up there. We were going to drive military vehicles all the way from Fort Stewart up the East Coast to Washington, D.C. I hate to say this, but most of our vehicles probably would have not made it to the state line between South Carolina and North Carolina. A lot of them would have probably broken down. Plus, there was no, like, I asked, well, okay, how are we going to get fuel? How are we going to get rest? Don't worry about any of those things. Well, I kind of do, because I'm worried about my safety and the safety of my soldiers, but maybe I'm crazy. Anyway, back to the bus story. We obviously don't go up to Washington, D.C. It was all I think it was just something that some people said just to get other people worked up about, what was, what we're going to do and why, and, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I complete the bus driving class, right? It wasn't that difficult. It was actually kind of fun after a while. And what they do is you go off post, you drive down this long stretch of highway, and then we went to, like, there's I can't remember the name of the place, but there's like a truck stop. Hello, Vengeful. There's a truck stop right outside the gate, not the main gate, but just, I can't remember. Anyway, we go out there and we stop, and it's basically we're just going to, people are taking turns, and that was basically what the well, I don't know who that is. There, Rogue Wolf or something joined me, and I don't know who that is. The name doesn't sound familiar, so I don't know if it's somebody who just happened to see me on the server and decided to fly with me, so I don't know. But anyway, so I complete the course, and then going into 2009, we're starting our train up for going to Iraq, right? We do a 2-week field problem, and then a 30-day field problem. Then we go to Port Irwin for another 30 days, which is a little bit longer than 30 days in some cases for some folks. But it's, you go out there, you get your stuff, and then you go out to the training area, you do your training. As long as they say you perform satisfactorily, you're officially signed off for deployment, you're good to go, and then you go back to your base where you came from. So we're at Fort Irwin, and they're, like the first couple days, you're waiting for equipment to arrive via railhead from Georgia. So from Georgia to California, right? And then, of course, along the way, what happens is people will vandalize the military vehicles, they'll break windows, anything they can do to show their dissatisfaction with the fact that the military's on a train passing through their town or whatever the heck, So, so you have to go. It's not like the rail yard is right next to Fort Irwin. Right? It's not. You have to drive from Fort Irwin all the way to a rail yard. They call it in Yermo. That's the Marine Corps has a rail yard there. They have like a logistics facility. So the Army uses that for bringing equipment
to Fort Irwin and returning it from Fort Irwin back to wherever their duty station is. Let me just see how much more we got to go. 62? I think it's 62. So, yep, 60. It's now 61. All right, so it's not like an easy. Let me see if I did I get a picture already? I'll get one real quick while I'm talking. So you have basically what happens is you need bus drivers, qualified bus drivers, to drive military buses from Fort Irwin all the way to the Yermo yard, drop soldiers off so they can get the equipment at the yard, and then once you drop them off, you got to go right back to Fort Irwin, and it's just like this, like you're just shuttling people back and forth, right? That's all it, to the Yermo yard, or once you're getting ready to go home, they drive the military vehicles back to the Yermo yard, railload it, and then they need a ride back to Fort Irwin. And the bad part is it's like a 2-hour or so drive each way. Now, it would have been nice, and I think by regulation they should have had 2 drivers in each bus. So if one was getting tired, they can take a break and the other driver could take over. Nope, it's just like you're by yourself. The only time, obviously, is when you're taking the soldiers out to the Yermo yard or whatever. But otherwise, you're by yourself. And it is tedious, it is boring as hell. You got nobody to talk to. The radio stations suck because it's a programmed, it just repeats the same music over and over and over again. To the point that you can almost tell what time of day it is by what music's playing. That's how you knew. Yep, it's about this time of the day, and here comes Taylor Swift. So, I'm driving, and it's like the worst part was it wasn't so much the driving, it was the accusation that I was somehow goofing off, and I'm like, how do I have time to goof off? I get up in the morning, I have something to eat, I report over to the command post and say, okay, we're ready to go, and we gather up our drivers, and everybody's there, okay, get going. How am I goofing off? Where, in what way? Please, somebody enlighten me, because I don't think I didn't have much time to goof off. I don't think. But yeah, it was just, and then of course, when we get ready to go back home, I'm doing the same thing, and I'm just like, I'm racking up these miles, and it was like, it was like I was, what's the word? Yeah, it was like I did all that stuff, and then it was like they couldn't, like, any kind of recognition or driver's badge or anything. It was just like, oh well, we feel like you were screwing around the whole time. You really weren't doing anything. It's like, I don't know how that would be possible, but so yeah, Rogue Wolf Gaming. I'm like perplexed now, because I feel like I don't know if it's somebody that's followed me before, or if it's because some of us have like channel names, but our names on our gamer tags are different. So I don't really know who that is, but that's all right. They're more than welcome to fly along. It almost feels like it's somebody who knew the flight plan, right? So I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, so that's the story. So no, Joseph, I would not want to be your bus instructor. I'd probably fail you because of your excessive speeding. All right, let's get down to about 10. Yeah. Oh, Kobe Air. There, I don't have that set up. Sorry, but thank you for the question. Basically, we left KCYS to KANW. So Cheyenne, Wyoming to Ainsworth, North Dakota. We are on our way to our third and final nav point. I'm gonna have to hold on a second. Yeah. Sorry, Rogue Wolf. Yeah, I was just trying to answer all that. I think the ads interrupted me. So yeah, we're on the Southeast Asia server. We are on to our third and final nav point before getting ready to start descending in for landing there at Ainsworth. I do fly. Well, I used to fly 7 days a week. Next week we have 3 flights, wrapping a long journey from Amsterdam to Indonesia in the Junkers 52. It's a former KLM route. 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK. We get started. But thank you for the follow also, Kobe Air. Appreciate it. So yeah, I will work on the whole thing with the Nightbot. I do want to get that set up because I think that's one of the things that people look for, because a lot of folks have that set up on their Twitch stream, so like server root and all that. Typically, with only a few rare exceptions, we're doing VOR to VOR flights. And then sometimes we do IFR. Very rarely have I done a VFR flight from start to finish. I like the VOR to VOR because it is like instrument flying, but it's not as complicated. You just, at least with this, I have an autopilot system, so I don't have, because I'm using the standard controller on my Xbox. So yeah, we won't be flying tomorrow, but we will be back in the air on Monday in the Junkers 52, going from Singapore to Palembang, something like that. Yeah. So, and then I'm going to take some time off, come back for a little bit at the end of August for about that last week or so, and then so yeah, but I'll be scaling back. I'm only going to be streaming 4 days a week: Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. No weekend flights. Well, I'll fly on the weekend, but I won't be streaming it. So need to scale back the hours a bit. Just trying to find stuff and keep things kind of fresh, and all that is a bit wears you out. So yeah, but I will work on the Nightbot stuff. I got to do that. I'll add that to my list of things to do when I'm taking my little break from streaming. But yeah, if you want to fly with me on Monday, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, I'll be in the Euchers 52. And have a nice... It'll be a couple hours of flying, for sure. On Monday. So... Yeah, we just got just a little bit left to go. We only have 23 nautical miles to our VOR DME there in the distance, and then we're gonna. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and drop a little bit more. Let's go to this 8,000. Really perplexed who this Rogue Wolf Gaming is. I really don't know. But anyway, that's alright. Somebody's flying with us. Even if they're a little bit behind. Or they caught up to me. That's fine. So we can live at about 8,000 feet right now. And then once we're en route to our fixed point to get ready to land, we'll get down to about 6,000 feet. Then 4,200, and then we'll be on the ground. So, and then we'll be wrapping. Oh no, we will not. I got to show. So the Twin Beach, I'm gonna pop over into that, show the startup, and where the issue is, as far as I can tell, with the insane noise in the cockpit. And I'm sorry, in order to show everybody how to fix the problem, there is going to be that insane, irritating noise. So, yeah, I apologize in advance for that. All right, yeah, it is nice to have two P-38s in the air. For sure. All right, let's see where we're at now. Let's see, now I should be able to go back to... We're pretty close now. We should intercept that. Let's see, 15 nautical miles. Yeah. All right. Vengeful Squid, is that you flying with me? Is it? That's not you, is it? You're not Rogue Wolf Gaming, are you? Why do I suspect it's you, Vengeful? I mean, if it is, you're welcome to fly along anytime. Oh. Oh, okay. I'm like trying to figure out who it is. Well, it's nice to have somebody along either way. Even if they're not saying boo in the chat. I think I need to look at my fuel in my drop tanks. I might have to switch. Yeah, let's go to our main tanks. That's still pretty, those are still pretty full. There we go. How? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, whoever's flying next to me, though, they're flying a lot better than I would with the controller. I tried it before and it did not work very well. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see here. We are 7 nautical miles out. Turn, heading a 5-7. Anyways. Rogue Wolf Gaming for flying along today, whoever you may be. Appreciate your participating. All right, here we are coming up on our, so it's going to be just a very small minor adjustment here towards on our heading. I think we're just going to go a couple degrees to the left, and then we'll be getting ready to start descending. We'll start slowing down, all that good stuff. Usual shenanigans to prepare for landing. And we'll pop over to the Beechcraft, and then we'll show that, and then we'll be done for the day. That will take but a few minutes to do, and we'll be done. Of 5-1. Okay. All right, now we can go and just go ahead and drop 6,000 from here. There we go. That way we are set to go. All right, so all that's happening is we're on to our first fixed point, which is Fugle, F-U-G-L-E. No sort of, matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off. We don't need that anymore. And then all we're doing, once we get there, we'll be getting ready to line up on a heading of 354 degrees for final. We're going to pass through our other nav points, and then actually, before we turn or get ready to turn on to final, I'm going to drop the altitude to 4,200, and then we're all set. And then once we get to close to Fugle, or after we turn, I'll go ahead and call in and let them know we're coming in. We're just going to go straight in, regardless of what they say. That's how we do it. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out on your Saturday morning or afternoon or evening, whatever the case may be. I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Sometimes we have story times. Sometimes we don't. Oh, there's Kobe Air in the 350i. Nope. Thanks for joining in, Kobe Air. Appreciate it. Yeah, so basically, for those of you who are new, oh, there he is. Rogue Wolf Gaming followed me. Hello, Rogue Wolf Gaming. Nice to have you along. So basically, what I do is, when I start the stream at 10 minutes after 7 or thereabouts in the morning, I will show you the flight plan and the world map. So and I do have a Discord, and I post it in the Discord, but if you want to see it on the world map, how to set it up, we can do that, or how I have it set up. And then I'll wait a while to see if anybody's going to join in, or if they need an invite to the group or anything. And if not, then usually I will be on the departure runway more often than not. Sometimes, if nobody's joining in, I'll just do the whole startup and taxi out to the departure runway. So that's what I do, and then we get in the air. And if people on the longer flights, what I'll try to do is show if there's an airport along the way, or a couple airports. I'll say, if you want to join in a little bit late, you can take off from here and catch up to me, or whatever. You can wait for me at this airport and then take off and follow behind me, or whatever. It's entirely up to you. But yeah, we try to do VOR to VOR flying, and then we do, but I try to include either an ILS approach of some kind, although we don't put the procedure in our little nav aid right here, our little Garmin system. we just lined up. We got the frequencies, and then we just used the information to line up and prepare for landing. And so that's all. Or we've been doing DME arcs. It's not flown perfectly. I'm still working on that. I got to review some. There's a video out that somebody did some time ago about DME arcs and how to fly them, and make sure you stay on track and all that. But we do that sometimes as well. So yeah, that's the plan. That's what we do. And then towards the end of August, I keep thinking end of September. Towards the end of August, Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to be flying the Junkers 52 around America. The first flight will be from JFK to Reagan National. We're going to try to fly places to and out of places that we've not been to yet. Some places will be a bit of a repeat, but we're going to try to mix it up a little bit. All right, 21 nautical miles to go. All right, perfect. And then Thursdays will be, we're going to fly along Route 66 from Chicago down to Santa Monica. And then once that's completed, we'll find something else to replace Thursdays. Fridays is going to be a bit of, it could be almost anything goes. Well, I wouldn't say anything goes. No, let me not say that. Let me rephrase that. One of the flights for sure will be in the Concorde going from JFK to Heathrow. I just got to practice with it a bit more, which I'm going to do during my short hiatus away from streaming. Other than that, what we may do is Fridays is I will show you all the general aviation planes I have in my hangar, and if there's one that you want me to fly that you've not flown in before and you just want to fly with me to practice, you're more than welcome to do that. Here. Well, I can hear the engines of the 350. That's what it is. So yeah, we'll try to do that as well. If anybody wants to help and just wants to practice flying, we'll just do some flights. That's perfectly fine. If you're not sure how to start the aircraft up, we can go over that. And we can fly around for a while, and then it's perfectly fine. All right, 15 nautical miles left. Almost there. Otherwise, I'll just pick something and we'll fly somewhere. So yeah, that leaves Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays free for me to kind of just do my own thing. Either to work on flying some other planes if they're new to me, or if I haven't flown them in a while, just kind of get used to them again and know where all the bits and bobs are, so to speak. So last night, get ready for this one. It's like 7. It was right around the time that Mick and Pulse were wrapping up their stream. And this person has their oldest son come over and weed whack the lawn around their part of the apartment complex. Which took, obviously forever because it's a weed whacker. So, yeah, that was exciting. I could not hear, even after I shut the sliding door, I could not hear Mick. I was like, I thought, I wasn't sure that they were ending the stream, but they ended up ending. But yeah, it was a hot mess. So,
I don't know how long the rest of the folks who live in the complex are gonna be happy with what she just did. If it's gonna something they're gonna tolerate again in the future. The the folks that are groundskeepers here have other properties that they are. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get the 4,200 that they're responsible for. So they just try to get over here whenever they can. So I guess that's just not to her liking. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call in and let them know we are on our way in as well. Ainsworth Municipal, there it is. Coming in on 3-5. There it is. Oh, it's not even towered. Oh, well, okay. Alright folks, we're going to have to dump some speed here because the next few things are going to happen fairly quickly. Our airport should be coming up here in a moment. Intercept that line and then we'll get lined up here. We need to get put that away for just a moment. Landing lights on. Oh, there's our pattern, entry pattern right there. We are just going to go and turn towards 354. Oops, a little too far, a little too far. All right, let's get the gear down. Get the flaps down more so we can start slowing down a little bit more. Alright, we're at right altitude. I'm just going to go ahead and fire the autopilot. We're just going to land it ourselves from here. There we go. So it looks like we turned in a little early. That's okay. When it does that. We'll adjust the speed. I wish there was a way you could turn that toggle thing off and just leave it hidden, because it's a pain in the butt. Because if you're facing forward, it's going to keep putting it on and off. So. Yeah, we're just going to go straight on in. All right, let me see.
thank you, Kobe Aaron and Rogue Wolf Gaming, for the follows and for flying today. Appreciate it. Nice to have you along for the flight. Wonder how much fuel I have left in the main tanks. Oh, we still got. Thank you everybody else for coming in and hanging out once again. Appreciate it. And for watching this on Sunday on YouTube, appreciate it. While I'm on hiatus, you can watch, rewatch some of the earlier videos, or you can hop over to YouTube and watch any of the stuff I've done since I've started streaming. Well, I'll show you guys the twin beach here that I'm going to fly here in a little while with Captain Arish and Allison Johnson. Probably they're going to get started here pretty soon. Yeah, I got to work on shout out stuff as well. I got a whole list of things to work on. Alright folks, I will catch up to the chat once we are on the ground. That might have been one of the best landings I think I've had in the P-38 Lightning. Alright, on behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Ainsworth, Nebraska. Local time is 6:47 in the morning. We understand and appreciate the fact that you have a lot of options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures, and we are glad that you chose to watch us today. Do join us Monday, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK, in the Junkers 52, completing our journey to Indonesia.
over the next couple days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll get that wrapped up. I know we are clear of the runway. Rogue Wolf made it. Nice. We're all here. Ta-da. Thank you, Joseph. We'll just find a good old parking spot anywhere over here. We'll shut it down. Yeah, good flight today. Nice scenery. Some nice weather. Just some clouds and oops. Alright, let's turn our lights off. There we are, and we'll get this shut down. There it is. All right, let me put this in real quick before I forget, while we're waiting for the stream to catch up. Alright, there's that. Oh. I gotta put the unknown, or the, there we go. Alright, so that's in. Back to the main menu. Alright, so let's do this real quick. Orders. I'm just gonna we're just gonna spawn in at an airport. That's all. Okay, so we gotta scroll up. We're not gonna change the livery. It doesn't matter what color aircraft I'm flying. It's just oops, one more. There it is. All right. And then we will go ahead and put live. Oops. Live. Everything. All right. So we will just skedaddle over here to the west or east coast. And we will take off. We're going to do our startup right here. Okay. We're not going to taxi out. I'm just going to show you the startup. And that's all. But thank you again, Rogue Wolf and Kobe Air, for flying along. Appreciate it. Hopefully you both enjoyed the flying today. More than happy to have you along anytime you see me on. So this was one of the local legends. I think this was the one that came out with World Update 10 when America got another World Update. Oh, nice, Kobe. Appreciate that. I like it. It's an amazing plane, but it's very temperamental. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a quick. I'm not going to do like the normal startup procedure through the checklist or anything. We're just going to do a expedited bit here. So then we are going to crack the throttles just a bit. That should be sufficient. All right, so now here's part of the problem. Okay.
Sometimes when you spawn on, if you're going to do a cold and dark startup, this engine selector sometimes will be over to the left already, right? Because on the checklist it'll say, engine selector select left and then right, because on the checklist you always start the left one. Now so get this, so I go left, right? You hit the booster, you turn that on. That's going to start the noise. It should. Why isn't this... What am I forgetting here? All that is on. Oops, no, they are not on. All right, there we go. That's okay. So now the noise is on, right? Starter's on. Oops, I got to turn the starter off and start it again. Now what has to happen is you have to turn the booster pump off, and then the starter off, right? And then you go to your right engine, and then you repeat the process. Oh, there's part of the problem. All right, so same thing. Booster switch on. You get that insane sound. Hit the starter, and once it's started, booster off, starter off, and then you can put your engine selector back to the middle. Oops, why didn't the other one stay on? Fuel's not cut off or anything. Oh, that's kind of odd. Okay, I think I know why. All right, so let's go back to the right one again, or left one again. Booster on. Start. I think because the magnetos weren't on. So off. Starter off. And then move this back to the center. So that's what the problem was. Because if you don't check your switches and then you have to manually turn off these before starting the other engine, otherwise it will stay on. So you have to, if you start, you start left first, and then you do these buttons, and then after the engine started up, then you turn it off, and then you should be fine. So that's what was happening. So that's the fix for it right now until they can get a patch for it, right? And then if you don't know your avionics, you turn that on and all your radios and stuff will come on. So that's what the deal is. So if you have it and it's been in your hangar and you're just like, oh, I'm not going to... Give that a try and then fly it, and you'll be like, oh, it's amazing. Now, the other thing too is, this is it says Autopilot roll hold. This is like your Autopilot master. You have to turn that on before you turn on your heading select and your altitude hold mode. So that's the only way you have your Autopilot system. There's no like way to dial in an altitude or anything. It's just that's what we got. So I guess it is at 2992 right now. That seems kind of odd, but so yeah, there you go. That's how you do that. So not too bad. It's an easy fix, I think, for right now until they can get a patch out for it and update the engine sounds and all that. I mean, I think it's still an amazing plane to fly. It's just that noise just irritates everybody, and everybody was like, "What is?" So that's what it is. I kind of tinkered around with it and found out what, but so yeah, that's what we do until the patch comes out. So there we are. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stop right here, and then we will wrap things up for the day. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in today.
It's nice to see you all here. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday, possibly, depending on where you are in the world. I have been your host and pilot, Uncle B, until till Monday. Not tomorrow, till Monday. Peace, live long and prosper.